floor was the only thing left untouched. You guys can give me an estimate whenever you can. Call me back. Thanks.
The insurance company?
Yeah, it's late, so I left a message. Yeah, I checked the policy. It looks like all of the damage is covered. We're gonna get a new living room out of this. No more living with Mom's retro 60s junk.
We got a lot of money for that junk at a flea market.
Well, it's all kindling now, thanks to Lark. Mom did love some of that stuff, though.
You have any idea what would have set Lark off? I mean, it seemed like she was turning her life around here, Frank. I mean, you seem to be making a difference with her.
Some people don't want to be helped.
It's really weird to hear you say that.
What is?
Your last comment, your attitude with Garcia. I mean, it seems like you're giving up on Lark, Frank.
1 minute I'm getting blasted for being a bleeding heart do-gooder trying to save the world, and the next minute I'm not living up to everyone's expectations of who they think Frank Scanlon should be?
I didn't mean anything by it, Frank.
What am I supposed to do for Lark, huh? I have to draw the line somewhere. This house means something to us, Joe. We'd sacrificed a hell of a lot to keep it in the family. I am not going to sit by and watch that kid destroy it.
All I'm saying is I was against Lark coming back in this house after that suicide attempt. But you stuck in there and you proved me wrong.
Look around, Joe. What difference did I make?
Stop being so hard on yourself.
Well, what did you say about Gary? I can't save every stray
Frank, it is not your fault that Gary OD'd from drugs.
I blamed myself at first, but then I started thinking about it, and I realized you were right. I have no control over the choices other people make. Gary wanted those drugs, he took them. Lark wants to run full speed into every brick wall, I can't stop her. I'm through trying.
Thanks for coming over.
Well, I'm actually surprised to hear from you guys tonight. I figured you'd be invited to that shindig at Windermere.
Well, of course we were invited. We just thought this was much more pressing.
Uh-huh. You say your father thinks he's solved the murders?
No. We didn't say that Victor thinks he solved exactly the murders.
He's given us an idea on where to look for the next victim.
Is there another circus in town I didn't hear about? Look, don't get me wrong, Kevin. I appreciate your father pointing Julie out as the clown who murdered Grace Sullivan, but I hope you understand we're not exactly rushing forward with an indictment based on his testimony.
You're skeptical. I can understand that, but my father's a very intelligent man.
He happens to be a genius.
Oh, no, Lucy. I'm just a mathematician.
One of the finest mathematicians in the world. He's given us a theory based on the pattern of killings in the book.
I never got past algebra.
Well, assuming that serial killers operate according to some kind of pattern, the clearest pattern, the most logical pattern, is to be found in the pages of the book.
That much I do know.
Well, up until now, the order of the real victims has followed the order in which they were killed in the book.
Well, from what I recall, the next person that's killed in the book is the character based on Dr. Boardman.
Dr. Boardman left town.
Right, and even if he hadn't, we do not believe he would be the next victim.
I believe that the real victims are being killed based on the order in which the characters arrived at the hospital in a general homicide.
Don't keep me in suspense. Who's next?
Cherry Darden. The character's a hospital volunteer. The character doesn't die until the end of the book, but she's the third character to come to town.
Right, so we really believe the next victim is a hospital volunteer worker. We just need to get the list of all those on staff.
We might be too late.
Has there been another murder?
Lark Madison's a hospital volunteer. Kevin, she's missing.
Two, four, six, eight. Who do we appreciate? Kevin! Kevin! Yay! Way to go, killer. I knew you had it in you. Why are you here? What do you think of the new look? Personally, I never thought it would suit me, but since you've gone to such great lengths to be just like me, I thought, well, it's only fitting we look alike again. Just like when we were kids. I am not like you. I never have been. Oh, give it a rest. This is me you're talking to. Personally, I never thought you had the stomach for killing. Boy, did you ever prove me wrong. How did I do that? Every killer finds a way to express themselves, Kevin. You finally found yours. But I haven't killed anyone. Write that on the blackboard 100 times and you might actually believe it. But who wrote General Homicide? What did you think a book like that would do when unleashed into the world? Cause a spontaneous love fest? Or vicious. And you've proven the saying, blood will out. You've even managed to impress me, and that is not an easy thing to do. You've made yourself the master of who lives and who dies. I've always had an affinity for fire, Kevin. Now look at you. You've poured the gasoline, you've lit the match. And you let someone else start the blaze. While you've washed your hands of the whole thing. Kevin, you're still holding the match.
Ryan was here.
What? Ryan, no, Doc, look at me. Look at me. He's not here. You're okay, okay?
Lucy.
There's guilt over the...
Lucy. Lark is gone.
I know, but Doc, they will find her.
Her disappearance only confirms everything that I already believe.
Oh, Doc, look, we are all trying to find the answers. You're just as much in the dark as we are, that's all.
Lucy, a killer is out there! Right now! Murdering people based on characters in my book, that is my fault!
It's not. Listen to me. Even if, and this is a very big if those murders are happening because of general homicide, it's not your fault. Don't you see? If some sociopath went and bought your book, you're not responsible.
No. Until now, I could rationalize the first two killings. People hated Devlin. I know that. And Grace might have discovered who the killer was. Two crimes, one of passion and the other just a cold necessity.
But you didn't have anything to do with either one of them.
A third person is too much to explain, Lucy. I didn't stick the pen in Devlin's heart. I know that. I didn't wrap a stethoscope around Grace's neck either. But I put those ideas into someone else's mind. Those ideas are mine.
You are not a murderer. You're not.
How do you think evil manages to survive in the world? Someone has to give it shape.
Not you. You do not have to take this on yourself,
A
Doc.
child shoots a gun into a group of innocent people. And who do we blame for that? TV violence? Shoot 'em up video games? Maybe they're just a scapegoat, and maybe they are part of the problem, but don't we have to ask ourselves about who invented the game, Lucy? I enjoyed writing that book. It was all a catharsis of impulses that I've had my whole life.
Okay, then. But everybody gets very angry in their lives, and everybody gets very hurt sometimes. We just all find our own very unique way of dealing with it.
And what we find ultimately separates good from evil, Lucy. We have a choice. We are responsible. I am.
You're not, Doc. Lark is just missing. They will find her.
They may find her, Lucy. They won't find her alive.
People in this house eat food like it's going out of style. We never have any groceries.
I don't want to cook anyway. Let's order something in.
You go ahead. I'm gonna go lie down.
Hey, Lark is gone. That means I can stay with you downstairs tonight.
Frank, I don't feel so good.
It's probably stress. Things are going to be very different around here from now on. There's been too much friction between us. We haven't spent enough time together.
I hear a suggestion coming on.
I suggest that we take off. Go somewhere no one knows us, where no one has seen your face in the paper.
That would be Fiji.
Or Bora Bora. I'm not picky.
Frank, I can't leave town. I mean, the DA already tried to label me a flight risk.
You know, let's just go somewhere where we can be alone.
It sounds like heaven.
His friend at work has a cabin upstate. He owes me a favor.
Frank, it's getting worse.
Joe! Joe! What happened? She collapsed? She's not breathing.
Is your airway obstructed?
I'm checking.